Good morning. This is my 3 to 6 minute TED Talk on my dog Radar and how he learned to be braver. So, first, a little bit of background on Radar. It's important to know that he's adopted. He was several years old when we got him, and we were not given all of the information we needed to about his personality. We thought we were getting one kind of a dog, and it turns out he was very different. So, for example, he had not been well socialized. There were clearly a lot of experiences that he had never been through, and for a dog as old as he was, that was really strange and it caused him to have a lot of fearfulness. We also found out at the last minute that we thought the people who had given him up to the Humane Society had had him as a puppy and then through circumstances couldn't keep him. Well, it turned out they had only had him for a month. And so we don't know what his experiences were for the entire first few years of his life, but based on his fearfulness, we think he was probably abused, and the people who had him couldn't handle all of his issues. So, some of the things that we noticed he was afraid of at the very beginning. I was coming home one day and I had my arms full, so I sort of tapped the door closed with my foot, and I left a mud smudge on the door. And he just saw that and was very cautious. You know, how dogs are kind of like, ooh, what is that? That very inspecting but holding his body back in case it was dangerous. Like that's kind of weird. He did a very similar thing with an empty box. We had gotten a package, taken the contents out, left the empty box in the living room floor just for a few minutes while we took care of things. He saw that empty box and thought the way he acted made us think that he thought this was dangerous, that he was approaching it cautiously, that he thought something dangerous might come out and get him, which is kind of a weird thing because empty boxes are fairly common. We also found that as we were trying to leash train him, because he did not know how to walk on a leash, even though he was multiple years old, um, leaves would blow in the wind. Again, that's pretty common, but he would jump and tuck his tail and run behind me. And we didn't think that this was a good way for a dog to be living. They shouldn't be scared of everything. Um, and his constant fearfulness also negatively impacted other behaviors that we did not want in a dog. So we needed to overcome all of these fears. One thing that we did was use a really encouraging tone, similar to how you talk to toddlers, right? When we saw him do something with that stance of tentativeness, use that bright, cheering tone. Oh my goodness, is that a stick? We better go look at that stick. What is that? And that bright tone made him realize that I wasn't scared. There was nothing for him to be scared of. And he was much more likely, even though he went cautiously, he would approach whatever it was and sniff it and see that it posed no danger. We also tried to give him a lot of new experiences. We would walk every single day, once or twice a day, just so he could see things, right? Just seeing all of the different places in the neighborhood or going to a different park was kind of a safe way to give him some new experiences. And by having more of those, then it lessened his reaction to some of those new things. And finally, Radar is super food motivated, so we gave him a lot of treats. When he had behavior that we really wanted to see, he was always rewarded with treats, and he was able to learn his commands very quickly because of that. He learned his sit and his stay and his down, his drop it or leave it. By giving him extra food, he knew if he was getting that reward, he wanted to please us. If we yelled at him, um, he just didn't learn nearly as fast as when we rewarded him for his good behavior. So I kind of think about all of these things and take personal examples. I sometimes do not do things because, you know, new experiences can be scary. What if it's dangerous? What if I'm really bad at it and I don't want to try? And I kind of think back to that's no way to live, right? We should be trying different things and being comfortable in our world and not feeling like fear is holding us back. So, by helping Radar learn to overcome some of his fears, and he's not the bravest dog, but he's braver than he was, I think that's a really good lesson that all of us can kind of take. Thank you.